YouTube, what is good with y'all, man? We're back with another My Team video, and in this video today we're basically going to be going over the best rubies in the game for you guys to use in limited. And honestly, you guys can really, I can say with 100% confidence that a lot of these cards that I'm going to suggest to y'all can also use in y'all's unlimited lineups as well and have some success. Now, before we get into it, I must say I'm going to be dropping this video on Friday, but that basically just means that I have recorded this video prior to the next promo coming out. So if we do get just some absolute god tier ruby card that comes out on Friday and it's not in this video, hey, don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just making the video, you feel me? But before we get into it, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if this video does help you out in any way, shape, or form. But other than that, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Kicking it off, I absolutely cannot not make a video on ruby cards and not have this Marcus Smart in this video. This is literally the top ruby in the game, in my opinion, and honestly, you can run this card in any type of comp setting as long as you do a couple of things for this card. Now, basically what I mean by that is obviously he has a really good three-pointer. He has a very, very good release, great driving dunk, his ball handle. Now, his ball handle is only a 76. Now, I do suggest putting a shoe on him. I do suggest having a coach that boosts ball handle and also having somebody on the floor with him that has floor general. And if you could combine those things, you can get him up to an 86 ball handle. And when he gets hot, he'll be able to speed boost and all that good stuff. So definitely a good solid point guard for you to run. Look at his defensive stats, just insane, and good enough speed and lateral quickness, and has a good enough badge count. It has a, like, I'm pretty sure he comes with 34 or 33 because I put limitless spot up on him. But that is something that, you know, you guys could look to add to this card, and pretty much is the top ruby in the game. Moving over to the shooting guard position, we do have Mystic Ruby OJ Mayo. Obviously, OJ Mayo is literally, if you didn't know, he is a J.R. Smith clone and is somebody that, you know, you should have on your, you should have in your collection. He's relatively cheap, and he has really good stats. Obviously, 88 3 ball, 85 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, 84 speed, 80 perimeter defense, 90 speed with ball, and an 85 lateral quickness. This card is really, really good. He definitely plays above his tier, and it's definitely somebody that I can suggest for you guys to run in limited and in unlimited as well. But this video is mainly about limited. Now, another really, really good budget option that I personally think you could run in a comp type of setting is Ruby Sadiq Bey. Now, I'm telling you guys, I literally don't miss with this card. I don't know what it is about his release, but I don't miss. He has an 86 3 ball, but I promise you, he does not miss. 80 driving dunk, 79 ball handle, but if you have somebody with floor general, you have a coach, definitely don't suggest putting a shoe on this card specifically, but if you have a coach and a floor general on the floor, he'll be able to speed boost. Look at his defensive stat, everything above an 80 with 84 speed, acceleration, and 86 lateral as well. He does have a duo with Cade Cunningham, but I definitely don't recommend running that duo. And of course, definitely has a super solid badge count as well. Great on the defensive end and pretty much great offensively so that you can, you know, do what you need to do at the small forward position. Now, a card that just came out with a clutch time. This is 10. This card you get for 10 wins. Is Ruby Julius Randle. He's actually really, really solid considering he is a ruby card, because as you can see, pretty much every important stat, I mean, outside of the defense, we'll get into that. Pretty much every important stat that he has is almost an 80. And obviously his defensive stats are, you know, less than to be desired, but I mean, he's good enough to get the job done. Just don't expect to get any steals with him, to be honest. He will be able to at least, you know, kind of hold it down at the power forward position. Don't run him at the center position because he will get absolutely flamed, torched, fried, all that good stuff. And yeah, I mean, look at his badges. I definitely don't suggest upgrading his badges, but you know, you can run this card in limited at the power forward position. Now, a super, super great budget option at the center position that I've seen plenty of guys running in the community is Wang ZZ. I don't know if that's how you fully pronounce the name, but that is going to be my suggestion at the center position. With the 89 3 ball, he does have silver limitless spot up on the card coming, you know, basically on the card stock. 75 driving dunk, obviously not going to be able to handle the ball, but it's going to be great on the interior defensive side of things and have, you know, really good rebounding. Obviously, for a card that is, I forget what exact height it is, he is a 7-footer. Having 72 speed at 7 foot is insane. I'm not going to lie. And having 70 lateral quickness is also just crazy. Gonna be a really solid shooter. And basically, if you guys don't know, he is a Rafe LaFrance clone. So if you didn't get Rafe LaFrance last season out of the vault, this card is basically honestly better, I could say, and a great option for you guys at the center position. Now, as another solid point guard option is going to be Ruby Eric Snow. Now, this duo with Dikembe Mutombo, I can absolutely recommend. Their duo is insane. If you guys can shoot with Dikembe, it's just that much better, and that is the glitch Dikembe Mutombo. And I promise you, the duo is actually worth it. Now, obviously, Eric Snow cannot dunk, but he can shoot the lights out. He has a really solid release, 86 ball handle with great defensive stats and great speed, lateral quickness, acceleration, all of those good things. I do think he gets a couple of Hoff badges with the duo, but definitely is a card that you can just run by yourself. But if you run with the duo, you will just get that much better of a card. He does evo up to an M. At the shooting guard position, we have 6'7" Kevin Huerter. Now, I'm really hoping that we do get a limited edition set, not for the high tier cards. Usually out of those sets, we get really good low tier cards in Saddiq Bey and Kevin Huerter, just as an example. But if we go ahead and just look at his 3-ball, he has a 93 ball, 75 driving dunk, which is good enough, 79 ball handle, which is good enough at the shooting guard position. And his defense is good enough to be on the perimeter. That's why I suggest running him at the shooting guard position, because you run at a small forward, you might get bullied a little bit. But 84 speed, 84 acceleration, 79 lateral with really good shooting badges. I don't really think he gets very many defensive badges, but again, I don't recommend putting badges on this card specifically just because he's not just that next level good, but good enough to run it limited if we're being 100% honest about it. Now, another card that you can kind of run at the small forward / shooting guard position, it's really your choice, is a Moments Justin Holiday. 94 3-ball with an 80 drive and dunk, 86 ball handle. Really good defensive stats, almost everything above a 75. Good enough rebounder to run, honestly, at small forward, but you can run him at the shooting guard if you would like, with 83 speed, 83 acceleration, and 86 lateral quickness. And I mean, look at the badges. Got interceptor on the card off rip, got catch and shoot, got blinders, got limitless spot up, and just bullet, got clamps, got pretty much all of the essential badges that you would need, to the point where honestly I don't think you would really need to put anything on him. I mean, there might be a couple of badges, but again, I don't recommend doing that for a lot of the cards in this video other than Ruby Marcus Smart. Now, a card that you can run as a small forward or power forward, it really doesn't matter, is Ruby LeBron James. And if you know anything about LeBron James cards, they just play different. Even though he's a Ruby, even though his stats may not look the best, I promise you this LeBron James card absolutely gets into it. And as you can see, a lot of his stats are, you know, pretty much 75 and above, and that's good enough to get the job done in limited. His release actually is not that bad. I've been able to green with him a couple times, and he has really good speed, especially at the 4. You really could dominate with this card at the 4 if we're being 100% honest about it. You can get the masked or unmasked version. I think it really doesn't matter when it comes to this card, but definitely can be a solid pickup for you guys as a Ruby card. Now, a card that is an absolute tank, is super glitchy, is Ha-Seong Jin. Really good card. He's going to be able to hit from the mid-range with a 70. I don't recommend shooting 3s with him, but I promise you can shoot middies with him. I've been able to do that. With an 85 standing dunk and 80 drive and dunk, obviously won't be able to handle the ball, but really good on the inside defensively, good rebounder, and pretty solid speed, honestly, if we're being 100% honest, and he is 7'3". Doesn't really have any shooting badges, but pretty much has every defensive badge that you would need outside of, I believe, interceptor. No, he actually does have interceptor. So, I mean, this card is really, I wouldn't say complete, but defensively, he is 100% complete. Now, another card that you guys can run at the point guard position is Jordan Clarkson. Considering he is only 6'4", definitely a great card to run at the point guard position with an 86 3 ball, 85 driving dunk, 86 ball handle. Good enough on the defensive end to honestly get some stops in the paint. He does get some fluky blocks from me, I'm not gonna lie. And obviously he has good enough speed and lateral quickness to get the job done. And I mean, look at his badge count. I mean, need I say more? You know what I'm saying? He can absolutely do it all. I don't really think he has like claps and like interceptor and things like that, but gonna hold it down on the defensive end enough to get the job done. Another great option at the small forward position, and you honestly can run him at shooting guard if you would like, is Ruby RJ Barrett. I know when this card first came out, he was absolutely one of the top budget cards in the game, and I can honestly still say that he is a top budget card for at the small forward position at this stage in the game with an 82 3 ball, 85 drop and dunk, 83 ball handle, which would be boosted if you have a coach, floor general, things like that. Good enough defensively on the perimeter, so I could say you could run him best probably at the shooting guard position with the 86 speed, 86 acceleration, and 84 lateral quickness. And he doesn't have as high of a badge count as a lot of these cards because this card did come out a little bit earlier than a lot of the cards that I'm suggesting in this video, but he can absolutely hold it down for you at the small forward and shooting guard position. Another shooting guard, gonna go into Tyrese Halliburton. If you guys played 2K21 last year, you know his diamond card was absolutely insane, and honestly this Ruby card is giving me shades of that card. Obviously not as good because he's not a diamond, but just that good enough to run him at the shooting guard position. He can only be ran at shooting guard. Got an 84 3 ball, 65 drive and dunk, 86 ball handle. Good enough on the defensive end and good enough speed and all that good stuff. Obviously he doesn't really have as many gold badges, but you know he has some good silver badges as well mixed in there, and considering he's 6'5", his player model is absolutely great to body up guys and be able to play great defense regardless. Now, one of the other cards that I can recommend probably running at shooting guard or small forward honestly is 6'7" Desmond Mason. Now I know he only has a 75 3 ball, but I absolutely shoot lights out with him. He has a great release. I think he has a similar to release to OJ Mayo. It was the J.R. Smith release, I'm pretty sure, base 47 or something like that. Got a good driving dunk, really good defensively, and got good enough speed. Obviously I'm comparing him to Tyrese, so you can see he is pretty much better than Tyrese in just about everything outside of shooting, but I promise you Desmond Mason can do it all. Doesn't have as many badges as Tyrese, so you know, do with that what you will, but can definitely recommend either of those cards for you guys. A card from season 3 that I can recommend for you guys, I know it's a lot of shooting guards so small for, is Ruby Deshaun Stevenson. Can get the job done. Just look at his stats. I mean, he's pretty comparable to Tyrese Halliburton. Again, can't speed boost, but look at his defense. It's pretty good and really solid card. And honestly, if you guys want, you could combine running his XP with limited, and I think is a great option for you guys at the shooting guard position. I do think he's best suited at the shooting guard position. Now, last but not least, honestly, a card that he's very hit or miss for me, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty glitchy, if we're being 100% honest, having a 7-foot small forward, Pokushevsky, I think that's how you say it, I'm not entirely sure, but pretty solid card. The only knock that I have about his card is his release. His release is pretty slow, but can pretty much do everything on the court if we're being 100% honest. I mean, he has stats pretty much around 80, and I think when he gets a really solid card later in the year, he's gonna be really insane. But I mean, look at his badge count. He has almost 40 badges. I think that's 38 badges, but really has good defensive badges, and I mean, he has good enough badges to, you know, be serviceable on the offensive end. And that is going to be the last card that I suggest for you guys at the Ruby tier. Now, that is going to wrap up the video. If I did miss out on some Rubies that you guys, you know, run, or, you know, obviously I'm not going to be able to fit all those cards in this video because I can make a super long video, but don't want to waste you guys' time. If I forgot any Rubies that you guys run, make sure to drop those in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like button if you did watch all the way through, and you might as well subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you watched the whole thing, you might as well subscribe, because I definitely, you know what I'm saying? We got that bond now, you feel me? But that's gonna do it for the video with the Ruby cards. Again, I am recording this before before the promo on Friday comes out, but it is coming out on a Friday, so just keep that in mind when I'm suggesting these cards. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.